it is, I'm under the impression that everyone is dealing with some sort of mental disorder, some sort of mental chaos. Things are not all in a equanimous state in their mind. And some people are diagnosed with many different mental disorders. Many of them stem from anxiety and depression. And what I've noticed, many people come to me, I don't know why it is, but people come to me to talk about things, to get things off their chest. So apparently a therapist of some sort, and I found a commonality. And the common question I ask people now is, when was the last time you created something? And usually the depression has set in right at the moment where they stop taking on or working on whatever project it is. If we look at grandma, for example, you see grandma's happy. Every time you come over, grandma's knitting a quilt or something like that. And you're like, why is grandma living to 100 years old? Well, she's practicing her God faculty. If we were to try to succinctly describe what God is, maybe we can say God is a creator. And if ye are gods, as the Bible states, and we are many versions of God and his creations, then we are meant to create. So any human being that is not creating is not living up to their God potential. And that is going to create some sort of mental disorder in your mind. And you're not going to know why. But it's because you are not creating. We need to have these projects. We need to have something that we're working on, something that we love, something that we're passionate about, and do that daily. It has to happen daily. And like I said, the commonality I saw with people were they got away from that. Some people are artists, et cetera, et cetera. And I asked them, when was the last time you made some art? They're like, oh, it's been 2 weeks. Oh, there you go.
Envision a sanctuary where community and sustainability are the cornerstones of living. In this haven, every family is able to grow their own food, children flourish through homeschooling tailored to unlock their full potential, and education extends beyond textbooks, instilling self-worth and a deep understanding of the world around them. Here, goodwill isn't just an ideal, it's the essence of daily life, where respect for law and order harmonizes with the community's resourcefulness. This place isn't just a dream, it's a call to action for everyone who believes in a better, more connected way of living. Join us in building a future where each individual's contributions create a tapestry of enduring harmony and prosperity. Join us in Hotepistan.
What's up, people? We made it to Monday. Happy Monday. The Grift Report starts right now.
2, 1, boom. Hotep Jesus.
Of all the Jesuses I know, he's the Hotepiest. Social scientist and YouTube host, Hotep Jesus.
How the fuck do you get a name like Hotep Jesus?
The one and only Hotep Jesus.
Ryan Sharp, better known to the world as Hotep Jesus.
Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Somebody said, what do you think you are, some kind of Hotep Jesus?
Ooh,
And I
that's
was
good.
just like, ooh, that's sexy. Yes, I do think I'm Hotep Jesus.
Good afternoon, good evening, good night, good morning, wherever you are. Welcome to the Grift Report, live Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm your host at Grift God.
Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
Hotep to the chat. Hotep to the Hotepistanis.
Hotep.
I might have the longest intro in the history of podcasts. What's happening, y'all? What up, Rudy? Heather Harnett in the house. What up, Heather? Steph Colonel, I see you. I see you. I see you. What's going on over on the Rumbles? Anybody over on the Rumbles? Let me see. Okay, Rumbles is up, functioning, it's working. Good. What up, y'all? Hope y'all had a great weekend. We have a lot in the bag that I stuffed in there over the weekend. So we got a lot to get into. Grifties is dropping tonight. Tonight, right after Hotep's Been Told You 2.0. Tonight, patreon.com/Hotep's Been Told You. Go sign up right now. It's like $5 and you'll be able to get that plus an extra episode of Hotep's Been Told You every week on Mondays. What else? So you got the Grifties coming out. Let's pull this up on your screen. Hold on. Where is it? Hotep Jesus Meets Tyrus is now live on the Outkick channel. I'm going to put this on your screen right now. This is weird. Hotep Jesus calls out mainstream media lies, maintaining with Tyrus, exposing the establishment. It's got like this pyramid, all-seeing eye from the dollar and the White House in the background. Fascinating imagery, exposing the establishment. I don't know. Is that what I did in that interview? I don't know. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. So that's out now. Make sure you go check that out. That's over on the Outkick channel. And right now we're sitting at
welcome in special out
17,000 views. 17,000 views. It's not too bad. Not too bad. Just make sure I go check that out. Over on the Outkick channel. Oh, they got some shorts going out too. They got shorts and stuff. Good promo. Good promo from the Outkick team. So make sure y'all go listen to that. Did y'all listen to it? Rudy texted me. He said it was a fire interview. He said he enjoyed it. Is that what I did? I don't know what I be saying. I be saying shit and people like, you're exposing the Illuminati. And I'll be like, I just kept it real for a couple of minutes. Is that what I did? Interesting. I was watching MSNBC. What made you think that? I was not watching MSNBC. No, I don't watch MSNBC. What are you talking about? Don't bother me on Monday, damn it. All right, so real quick. Hold on. Does this thing move like after we go live? Is that what's happening here? Quite odd, because I set this. Maybe I have to set it again after I go live. I don't know. Today's goal is $69. $69 in supers is today's goal. Every dollar that helps us get towards that goal is greatly appreciated. And yeah. All right. So real quick, I gotta spread love. To somebody. Cash at me last week. Shout out to all my cash appers, $ Hotep Jesus. Shout out to my cash appers. Shout out to Richard, Black Market Nick, and Marcus. Appreciate you. USMC, United States Marine Corps, Ricky G sent $250 over on Cash App last week. I forgot to shout him out. Dude, you are appreciated. Thank you. It's probably going to end up in Bitcoin since it came up in the Cash App. Cool. All right. Without further ado, I want to pick up where we left off last week and try and clear the air on some stuff. Last week we had Mo Facts on the platform with Sonny Johnson. And I got trolled by MoFax. So I just want to clear the air on this situation here and hopefully bring some resolve to this situation. You guys know me. I don't argue on Twitter. I don't do back and forths. I don't do Twitter beef. So I posted sometime after our interview, I was talking about, well, really what happened was I was researching testosterone, right? Shout out to Apex. Make sure y'all take y'all Apex. I was researching testosterone, and then in here I ran across this information that says WHO Reproduction Program and Population Council of the Rockefeller Foundation. And I was like, it was red flagged. I was like, wait, what? Population Council, Rockefeller, what the hell? So I went down a quick rabbit hole, had to pause my reading, and then I found this organization, Population Council, and then I did my usual checkings up, and it's all gay, gender, black people stuff. One of the things I found was it says this organization still operates today. It says mostly, so the countries that it's operating in today: Bangladesh, Egypt, Ethiopia, Ghana, Guatemala, India, Kenya, Mexico, Nigeria, Pakistan, Senegal, South Africa, United States, and Zambia. So it's definitely a black-centered organization, and that's really what they target here. They do have a DEI page. Anyway, sorry about that sidebar. So Mo says, sounds like white supremacy, but your handlers won't let you talk that spicy. Boule Negro problems. My handlers. No, I don't think it has anything to do with my handlers, Mo. I think it just comes back to the fact that, I don't deal in that rhetoric of white supremacy. It's doesn't make any sense. So I didn't respond to that. So then he came back and he said, I gave it a good night's sleep before I decided how to react to the shenanigans of Hotep Jesus. Well, I decided, and it's time to take a long look at his motives to discredit me. It's shine time. So he goes full shine mode, says he woke up and chose violence. And he says, what is Hotep Jesus deflecting from? Why is it that the term white supremacy gets his kente cloth panties in a bunch? Kente cloth panties. He was in his bag. And this tweet here, October 17, 2022 from me, I said, I have a theory that many of the brown races practice a form of race supremacy. And obviously when I'm talking about brown races, I'm talking about many of the people in the Arab world, Indians, Hispanics, etc., etc. Anyway, so he says, it seems Hotep Jesus has no problem using the term white supremacy as long as it is palatable to his conservative political handlers. To be continued. And here is a tweet of me saying white so-called supremacy hides in the shadow of liberalism. Good morning. So I think he's still, fixated on this term white supremacy. And honestly, I don't think that was the contention from the discourse we had last week with Sonny. I don't think that was it. I think it was more or less like dishonest gaslighting. For example, when Mo brought up China, right? He brought up China and he was wrong about China. The first thing out of his mouth was China didn't have Wuhan labs here. And we were like, wait, hold on. Can we stop right there? Like, I don't mean to cut you off, but that's just wrong. China definitely had labs here. And then later on in the conversation, he tried to say that Sonny Johnson is some raging MAGA zealot because she was talking about China. But we were like, you are literally the one that brought up China. So how is it her? The other thing he was quite wrong about, and a lot of people get this wrong, and this is the history of the gun. So he said that the white man, that Asians only created fireworks, is what he said last week. Asians only created fireworks. They didn't create guns. And it is true, they didn't create guns, but check this out. Gunpowder was invented, and I pulled this right from Wikipedia. Gunpowder was invented in China during the 9th century. The first firearm was the fire lance, which appeared in China between the 10th and 12th centuries. And you see, basically, it's like a spear or a lance here with, what appears to be a pipe bomb on the end of it, but it's probably shooting projectiles. And, I think what a lot of this comes back to is people think that white people have a monopoly on violence. They've perfected violence or something like that. Like nobody else is capable of being violent. And Asian people were just, peaceful monks meditating, and they didn't care about violence, right? This is kind of like the thing that people try to do when they create this concept of white supremacy, like only white people were violent. It says here, the hand cannon. So now it's this next device here. It's called the hand cannon. It says the hand cannon is the first true firearm and the successor of the fire lance. It is the oldest type of small arms, as well as the most mechanically simple form of metal barrel firearms. The hand cannon was widely used in China from the 13th century onward, and later through Eurasia in the 14th century. In the 15th century, Europe, the hand cannon evolved to become the matchlock arquebus, which became the first firearm to have a trigger. So the white man created the trigger. That's what the white man came up with. White man invented the trigger. Okay. So just a little bit of, oh shit. Damn. We hit our goal already.
This a real Hotep brother.
Let me put this on the screen. Shit, let me fix this. Damn, thank you. Appreciate you. I set $69 for the goal, and I look back, and all of a sudden it's the goal has been met. Who is that? Hold on, let me switch screens and then go see who this is, and then we'll continue on with the Mo Facts saga, and I'll give you guys my thoughts on that. Shout out to Rob ? Blessings HJ, blessings to the chat. Appreciate you for being a member for 4 months.
This a real Hotep brother.
Oh, Rudy the Vet Russo, $99 super chat.
This a real Hotep brother.
Thank you, Rudy. Pure fire emojis in the chat. You the man, bro. You the man. Yeah, hit the like button. Shout out to Lauren in the chat. Hit the like button. So, I didn't like the way the discourse turned out on Friday, but I knew it was going to end up like that, and mostly because Mo Facts is just very pedantic. Okay, he's very pedantic. Let's look that up. Let's type pedantic into our dictionary. What does it say here for a definition of pedantic? What does it mean when a person is pedantic? Pedantic is an insulting word used to describe someone who annoys others by correcting small errors, caring too much about minor details, or emphasizing their own expertise, especially in some narrow or boring subject matter. So that's, one way of describing Mo, but, he kept just like, he was playing semantics games and stuff like that. And, well, let me come back to how I knew. I guess this is all one thought. I knew the conversation was going to turn out like that because Sonny doesn't have much patience, and Mo Facts will test your patience. So, I wasn't exactly sure what to expect, but I knew that shit could turn left really fast. And it did. But I don't think there's anything I could have done different. There's nothing. The only thing I could have done different was not host the conversation. But I don't, sometimes after something happens, I think about all the things I could have done better. And that was one of those conversations where I'm like, I did the best I could. If we ran that back, I would probably be the same exact way. mostly because I don't believe that someone should be allowed to continue to speak after creating a false premise. No, we have to stop. Like, once you say some shit like the white man created guns, China only had fireworks. I mean, nah, we gotta pump the brakes on that, right? And I think it's very important for us to pump the brakes on that, because we got people watching that want to learn and want information. We got Hotep Lil Niggy in the house. He's a young one, and we don't want to confuse people and have people walk home after a conversation with false information. And it's like, how do you make a good argument when your premise is false, right? So you want to say something about white people, and then, it's predicated based upon, a lie, something that's just factually and historically inaccurate. So you can't come up with an argument based upon a fact that's inaccurate. And Mo does that a lot. He says shit that's just historically inaccurate. And I think it's just a matter of, just how much somebody studies total history. And I think this is a huge Achilles heel. And I noticed this with myself back in the day, is when you're like super pro-black, you tend to have a blind spot when it comes to world history and European history. The only European history you really know, or world history you really know, is everything juxtaposed to black people. Like, oh, white history as long as it has something to do with them putting their boot on the neck of black people. Like, all of that history and you're an expert in that history. But when you remove black people from the situation completely and start diving into, some of the historical records of how these nations evolve, how these empires evolve, without mention of black people, they tend to fall short. I think it's because a lot of the work that they read is also written by black people who don't have, because I remember repeating that lie that Chinese people only had fireworks. I remember distinctly in my past repeating that lie until I went and looked it up for myself, because that's what I do. And I was like, okay, wait, that's not correct. Because it made me look it up, because after I said it, I was sitting there thinking, like, you mean to tell me the Chinese man came up with violent projectiles and never turned them into a weapon? Nah, that don't sound right. I know that Chinese man definitely has some projectiles, and I looked it up, and he definitely had projectiles. So I think that's a huge blind spot for pro-black people, is the fact that they don't really study European history independent of black history. And that's something that I've had a lot of fun doing over the past 6 or 7 years, is diving into European history, central banking history, Russian history. I'm studying Mao. I'm like, right now I'm studying hormones and genetics, so I'm getting back into science because history's sort of boring me at this point in my life. And I'll probably get back into some history. Actually, I'm lying. I'm reading a history book right now for the second time. I'm reading Tragedy and Hope for a second time, which is a fascinating book. So I'm actually reading 3 books. That's Testosterone, Genetics, and Tragedy and Hope. Because, like I said, I think I told you guys last week, when it comes to reading history books, it's like sometimes, you don't, the stuff that you want to read, or the stuff that is out there to read, you're like, I really don't feel like reading that. So you just got to go back and just read some old classics. So I'm going back and reading some old classics. And I came with some pretty profound thoughts that came out of that. But before we get into that, Mo, I think I want to try again. I think maybe third time's a charm. Maybe we need to get Mo back on here and just let him go, and just let him speak and say what it is that he's got to say. I'll challenge him a little bit to draw out some more, but I really want to get to the bottom of the white supremacy thing. I don't want to fight him, but I think that's the best way forward. But the thing that I didn't like about the whole Mo Facts thing was like, he feels like I set him up, and he feels like, you know, I'm trying to tarnish his reputation or something like that. But that's not a goal of mine. I remember I had a debate with somebody. I won't mention any names, but I also have a debate with somebody, and somebody texted me and said, "Yo, take his head off." And I'm like, technically I can't. And they're like, why? I'm like, because we're on the same side. And it's like, I don't want to kill leaders of people that are on the same side. You know, it's like, I want to kill the enemy's leaders. I don't want to kill our leaders. And if you debate me, if I take you seriously, I'll slaughter you, you know? And, you know, the first conversation we had, or the last conversation I had with Mo, I didn't take seriously. I just kind of showed up and was like, I'm just going to have fun and be myself and not come into this like, you know, super serious and, you know, try to have patience on this shit. No, I kind of was just like, I'm going to be like the rawest version of me and do what makes me feel good, what makes me happy. And I did that. And that's one way to handle the conversation, right? But if I was to take Mo Facts seriously and sit down and like really like try to debate him, it wouldn't be fair. It wouldn't be fair. And that's one of the reasons why I handled the last debate like I did, because I didn't want to be a smooth killer, right? Because that's what people wanted. They like smooth killer Hotep Jesus. And I like smooth killer Hotep Jesus, but smooth killer Hotep Jesus, he assassinates you. And then after that, it's just a wrap. You know, nobody fucks with you no more. And that's not what I want from Mo. It's not what I want. I'm not trying to assassinate your character, Mo. But, you know, if you want, come on a platform. Let's chat again. You know?
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Shout out to Kamar Daniel, $9.99 on the super chat. Appreciate you, bruv. Shout out to Kamar Daniel, most consistent man I know over on the Meta Water team. You know. If Sonny's husband is Puerto Rican, does it matter? I don't think her husband's Puerto Rican. I met him. That nigga's definitely black. I met Sonny's husband. That nigga black. Mofax versus Goldstein. Oh, that'll be fire. Barry D, first time able to catch a live stream. Welcome, bro. Welcome. We just getting warmed up over here. Yeah, I know. All right, let's get into the gettings into. We're gonna be quite intellectual today. So, like I said, I went back through and I picked up this time a digital version of Tragedy and Hope. And I just want to dive. Sorry, folks. Some bullshit. All right, we back. My bad. You know they like to fuck with me and shit. Why is it? All right, anyway. Let's get Rumble back up. All right, cool. Okay, cool. So let's bring this up. Go here. All right. Tragedy and Hope. All right. YouTube heard Tragedy and Hope and said nope. Yeah, that's some bullshit, ain't it? See how they do me, yo? So, it's kind of weird. People get triggered easily these days, especially right wing. They're so triggered. They've been traumatized. I'm starting to feel bad for the reactionary right, the red whites. They're so triggered by race now. They just come off as lefties anyway. So I tweeted, said America as a civilization is in a phase where it has been, and this is the part I took from the book, weakened by a loss of faith. Now, he wasn't describing America here, but weakened by a loss of faith in its older ideologies and challenged by newer ideas incompatible with its past nature. The path forward is backwards. And then obviously it's Twitter, so people want to argue, right? So this person, some anonymous account, if the older ideologies were great, newer ideas would have never gained traction. America is in ruin because blind faith in older ideologies got us to this point. We got to a tipping point 20 plus years ago and doubled down. What do you call this? What is this? What is this? This line here, it says, if older ideologies were so great, newer ideas would have never gained traction. What the? There's a name for that type of dumbassery. Think about how stupid that statement is. If the older ideologies were so great, newer ideologies would have never gained traction. That makes absolutely zero sense. There's always going to be new ideas. Let's say humanity comes up with 100 new ideas today, and one of them happens to be garbage. That does not mean that the older ideologies were not great, right? We're building upon what we had in the past. But if that new idea, this concept of, fucking gender swapping kids, it's just one idea out of the bad apples. So basically what we got to do is now we're going to have to roll back some things to figure out where we went wrong in history to where that type of nonsense comes about. Right? But I was polite and I responded. I said, newer ideas come in the age of expansion. After too much expansion, the civilization will need reorganization, which can occur by returning to tradition and then expanding again later on. Civilizations must expand and retract. So a civilization is like a breathing lung. It expands and it retracts as it breathes, right? The same thing with a civilization. It must breathe. So during an age of expansion for Europe, it was the age of enlightenment. And you're going to have in the age of enlightenment, you're going to have a lot of new ideas come about. This is a good thing for Europe, where you have a lot of new ideas and many new ideas come about, right? So this is the age of expansion. Now, what happens is many new ideas come out and we're always expanding. But at some point, there has to be a checks and balances that goes, okay, we got a lot of great new ideas and inventions and technology, but some of this shit should have never slipped through the cracks. So now we need to start pruning and start returning back to tradition on some things. For example, in the age of expansion, it was ideal to educate the masses. Okay, so we've created public education. It's Rockefeller funded, but we created public education. Now everybody has a chance to learn how to do math and science and all these other great things and learn how to read and write, right? Cool. But it's come to a point where there was so much expansion in this space of education that a lot of bullshit is in there now. So now we're going to have to go backwards and say, okay, now we need to start homeschooling because the education system is just too freaking corrupt. And what happens is, as people start pulling back, the school will have to follow, the public education system will have to follow and pull back some of the bullshit that they've been spewing. And then you'll have more expansion again, and people will trust the system and bring the kids back into school. So this is constant expansion and extraction that happens here. It's not so black and white, which leads us to the next point. So I'm talking about civilizations and, returning to tradition. And mostly in my head, I'm talking about family and gender roles. That's what I'm thinking about in my head. But to the reactionary right, everything's about race, right? So he goes, just 20 years ago, we were taught never to see race. Now there is segregation everywhere. Black only businesses, black only spaces. Back then, support for gay marriage was low and people said it was a slippery slope. Today, children cut off their genitalia and drug themselves. So the latter part is more what I was thinking about this whole black only thing. So I responded and said black only is a course correction from the era of white only. Things will have to settle into a middle ground before decay takes its root. Now, I should have been careful in my speech because everybody's pedantic and picks you apart. And what I should have said, black only is an attempt at course correction. Although now that I think about it, there's actually nothing wrong with that statement. Black only is a course correction from the era of white only. There's a major difference between black only and white only. Black only is something that can only be enforced by black people. White only was something that was enforced by the state, by the government. So these are two completely different mechanisms of segregation, I guess we can say, right? And then there were people in the comments who, make dumbass comments or whatever. Oh, I blocked them all. My bad. Never mind. Yo, today I had a tweet right here. Today I tweeted out, check this out. I'm going to show you how petty I am. Today I typed in leftism is depression in search of an outlet, right? And I put a comma after is. Now, when I wrote this sentence, there was no comma. I went in and placed a comma after leftism is because I wanted people to pause. Leftism is depression in search of an outlet. So some account pops in and goes, there doesn't need to be a comma there. So I blocked them. There's a comma there because I put it there and nobody asked you. So just in case y'all wondering when people say, oh, Hotep Jesus blocked me. My general rule is if you are one of those people that just gotta see yourself tweet, I gotta block you because I don't want you in my ciphers. It's like you just coming in to show people or, that you think you're smart. And it's just like, that's corny. Like, let's deal with the subject matter at hand. You over here trying to correct grammar and I'm spreading a message. You off topic. I do that. I block people for being off topic too. Somebody comes in my shit and they just off topic. You just get blocked. Like, I don't want your distraction in my cipher. Somebody else responded to my course correction. Says it will never have a middle ground. You should know this. Human nature is not forced integration. Will some integrate naturally, of course, but segregation is biologically wired into our DNA. This is Trailer Jew Shoes. This account here, and another anonymous account. And it says it will never have a middle ground. Okay. And again, like this is just really weird, right? Because people say things that are obvious and it's just like, that's not what we're talking about. What we're saying is what needs to happen. Whether it's possible or not is a whole different discussion, right? Like this is what people call dismissiveness, right? You bring up something, you mention what the solution is, and then people try, instead of dealing with the thought experiment, they dismiss it altogether and just say, well, it's never going to be possible. Okay, so what? Can we still talk about how it could be possible? If we acted a certain way, if we moved ourselves can we say that humans have our own agency, or have we given up that fight? Some of us haven't given up that fight because we got this thing called Hotepistan, and really this message is for Hotepistan. It's not for the rest of the world. You got your American problems or whatever, and I understand that, but really this is about mitigating risk of deterioration in Hotepistan. So anyway, I said America experienced first forced segregation, then forced integration, which sent our civilization reeling. Voluntary integration / segregation is the natural response in action. So if you exclude a bunch of people from your society, you should expect them to pop up saying that, this is black owned or this is black only. The other thing, I haven't seen anything state sanctioned that said black only. Have not seen that. There was this one thing that I think happened in Detroit or Chicago or somewhere where they had a job fair or they had a black business fair, but it didn't say like black only. It just said black business fair. And it's kind of weird to me that people were upset by that, because it's like, all right, so you just want us robbing and beating up your children, huh? You don't want us to climb economically. You want us to be synonymous with poor, right? It just doesn't make any sense. Anyway, so I said also, now this is because I've been studying genetics and I sound like a geek. I said also, one should not conflate biological or molecular genetic traits with social traits. This will only lead to confusion as we mistakenly entangle molecular and social sciences. So as I study genetics, I'm hearing people say things are genetic, and I'm like, that's not what the science of genetics is talking about. You know, these social traits seem to be caused by something else. And I'll report back after I finish my genetic studies. All right. So that's the big brain shit of the day. Well, actually, all this shit is big brain a day. Hold on. Elon Musk and Don Lemon. Let's talk about this shit. Hold on. I just want to see what else we got in here. Okay, so it's these two. All right. So let's go to the clip. We'll play the clip first, and then I'll show you how Don Lemon and Elon Musk leave much to be desired as far as grifting is concerned. I don't want to say these guys are stupid or unintellectual or anything like that, but as far as grifting, this is top tier grifting right here. Let's listen.
If we lower the standards for what it takes to become a doctor.
You're saying if we lower the standards, yes. But do you believe people are dying because the standards are being lowered?
I don't think that is yet an issue, but it could become an issue.
It's a good question by Don Lemon, by the way. It's a good question.
Okay. But the actual evidence.
Now, I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of people were giving Don Lemon hell for these questions, and it's just because they don't like Don Lemon, and I don't like Don Lemon either. But my issues with these questions are quite different from other people's issues. They're saying he's stupid, and I'm like, no, that's not the issue here. The issue is he's a cuck. He's homosexual. He's feminine. That's the issue here.
Evidence in history shows the exact opposite. If you look at how minorities are treated by the medical system, most doctors now are white, and there are lots of mistakes in medicine. So you're saying that white doctors have bad medical care? I'm trying to understand your logic here when it comes to DEI, because there's no actual evidence of what you're saying.
And that's true. There is no actual evidence of what he's saying.
No, I said, so if the standards, like let's say, I think that particular thing was referring to surgeons. Let's say a surgeon is asked to, a surgeon in training is asked to do a series of operations under the supervision of a senior surgeon, and they get a bunch of those operations wrong. If that happens, and yet they are still approved to be a surgeon, the probability that someone will die, I think, at some point is high.
Okay, I understand that, but that's a hypothetical. That doesn't mean it's happening.
That's true. That's a hypothetical. That's correct.
I didn't say it's happening.
You didn't say it was happening.
I said it will. I said if we lower standards, people will die.
But why respond to something or put something out there that has not happened? Because I could say,
I don't want it to.
Now that's a good point. And this is where I depart with the whole Elon Musk situation, because Don Lemon's right. Like, why are you putting shit out there that does not actually exist? You know, it's like this is the whole pilot situation all over again. Oh, he's a black pilot. He must not be qualified. And it's like, did they lower the standards to become a pilot one day? Like, when did that happen? Because the last time I checked, the standards to be a pilot have not changed. And they're not changing. Go, oh, if you're black, you know, you only need this amount of hours of flight school. That's not what it says, right? So where does it say that they've lowered the standards to get into med school or to become a doctor? Like, where is that evidence? I'd love to see it.
Happen, I think.
And I asked people for it, and the answer I got, I'll show you in a few.
I think we don't want to lower standards.
Okay, if you look at the history of the medical industry, especially when it comes to black Americans, it shows the exact opposite. If you look at the Tuskegee experiment and on, only 5% of doctors in America are black. All of them are white. So are you saying that if the majority of doctors are white, are you saying that and there are still these inequities, right? And there's still mistakes. Are you blaming DEI for that?
No, I'm very basically saying that if we lower standards for what it takes to become a board-certified surgeon or, you know, an oncologist or something where the kind of disease we're talking about, if you make a mistake, causes someone to die, then more people will die than if we don't lower the standards. Therefore, we should not lower the standards.
But why do you think they're lowering the standards for minority doctors or women doctors or?
That's what that's what that article suggested. Yes, at Duke University.
All right. So fact check, Elon's wrong. Fact check, Elon's wrong. They have not lowered the standards. However, they have done some very suspicious things, and in a way, it could be construed as lowering standards. But the standards we're talking about here are moral standards. So basically what happened is some lady sat down with a patient, you know, some med student or whatever, sat down with a patient. The patient saw she had her pronouns and she laughed. So the person with the pronouns pricked them, pretended like, or allegedly pretended like they missed a vein, so they'd prick them twice, right? So her colleagues are saying, hey, you know, she did it by accident, and then others are saying she did it on purpose. I don't really care either way, right? I'd probably, you know, because she has pronouns, she's probably fucking crazy, so she probably did it on purpose. That's the way I'm gonna just throw my chips on the table. Now, this is another Hotep's Been Told You moment. Another Hotep's Been Told You moment. Do you guys remember when I did my DEI presentation? And who did I say DEI was for? Because everybody's making it seem like DEI is for black people. And I'm like, yo, DEI ain't for black people. And this news article from Daily Wire proves that. Because what are they talking about in this DEI article? Pronouns. Not black versus white. They talking about pronouns. Coming back to what I told y'all before, DEI is for the rainbow community. It's for women. It's not for black people, especially not straight black men. Okay? It's not for straight men, period. So let's go back. So, there's nothing in here. I read this whole thing that Elon allegedly, I believe this is what they're talking about here, Duke University. This is Forest Medical School. This is UPenn, Wake Forest. Here's Duke right here. And there's nothing in here. I'll play this 60 seconds just to show y'all here.
You know, the thing is, we are in the South, right? And unlike a lot of the hospitals in the Northeast or in the West, we serve a very Southern population. This is not a VIP hospital. People are not flying in from Qatar to get treated here. We treat patients who are just from the community in the South. And yes, my heart sinks every time I go into a room and I watch them watching Fox News, or they have a MAGA hat on, or they're wearing a Confederate belt, right? These are the patients that we treat. But Geraldine, I will say that the one very good thing about the South that I enjoy is exactly what I alluded to earlier, is that we don't treat VIPs. We treat people from our community. And our community, as Auri explained, is majority.
So basically they're mad because he says he don't like people with MAGA hats. So that's somehow DEI or, something to be mad at. And really, I don't really give a shit. You know, like he's got every right. He's a human at the end of the day. He's got every right to have his stomach sink from seeing a MAGA hat. I mean, that's how I feel when I see a Biden shirt. That's how I feel when I see people watching CNN. People act like they don't feel the same way about the other side. But here's another one here. Ben Shapiro says, Rahman adds that post George Floyd, Duke made a concerted effort to stop hiring so many walls of white men. He says the team is now abandoning all sorts of metrics and adopting a completely holistic application practice in order to recruit more women and non-white surgeons. Again, nothing about lowering the standards. So I've scoured through this. I've listened to the videos, this long ass thread, and just comes down to, this headline, DEI could get you killed in the operating room. And it's just like, maybe, but it's not because they're lowering standards. So it's just a shame here that I'm listening to this. Listen to the last few things here from Elon.
That's what that's what that article suggested. Yes.
That's not what the article suggested. It's not what the article suggested. And the fuck up from Elon is the fact that he's explaining himself, right? Like if you had me with Don Lemon and he was like, yo, blah, 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 blah. I ain't explaining shit to you. I run Twitter. Either you want the job or you don't, bro. Get the fuck out my face with these dumbass questions. But he let Don Lemon sit here and interrogate him. Ain't nobody gonna sit me down and interrogate me other than the FBI. I'll be damned. So yeah, Elon Musk is it's just grifting, really. He tried to defend being wrong. It's like how you let Don Lemon catch you being wrong. Just say you was grifting. Hey man, I was on the timeline getting my grift on. I slipped up. Just keep it 100 with us, man. Don't fucking sit up here and cap. DEI. It's the new fucking buzzword that gets every. I was thinking this morning, right? If you're a conservative grifter, like, what are the things you look for, right? Like, for example, if it were me and I wanted to be a conservative grifter, I would go on Google, change my trends to immediate, my search results to, past 24 hours, past hour, whatever it may be, and type in things like DEI, immigrants, and then just sit there and report on all that shit all the day, because this is what the red whites click on. They're like, oh, you said something about immigrants, retweet, retweet, DEI, yeah, DEI bad. Say something about CBDC. Crickets. They haven't been programmed to react to CBDCs yet. Once they get programmed to react to CBDCs, then you'll see them mobilize. But, most of these people are just NPCs and automatons, no different than the left. All right, let's go to the next story. Oh, yeah. Headline story, Trump said something about Bloodbath. The media ran with it, and it's fake news. All right, so I covered that story. It's really people I was covering that shit like all morning. It's just like, there's no story here, bro. There's no story. There's nothing to be said. I made that shit the fucking image on the thumbnail because that's what people are going to click on. It's called clickbait, bitch. Gotcha, bitch.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
I'm not about to sit up here and talk to y'all about fake news. You should know that the news is fake by now. Complaining about it is kind of weird. It's kind of, what do you call it? It's amateur hour. It's newbie-ish. It's unbecoming of a Hotep. Hoteps, we try to be a little bit more ahead than that. I'm being a bit indecisive now as to what I want to talk about. Let me take this out the bag. Let me take Elon out the bag. don't want to talk about that. Let's pull this up. I think this is good. Let's pull this up. This is great material right here. Fucking epic material. Some of y'all may have seen it, some of y'all may have not, but let's pull up the tape.
1980, which of course should have been changed a long time ago. So they bringing them in. You wonder where the money coming from? They taking it. The COVID fund that was here, that money. You talking about all the pro housing programs. So when people pay rents, all the rental programs, that money, all the programs that we have in the city of Chicago, they are bankrupting us. They are taking from all of these programs that we have, and they're taking the money and they're funding the migrants. Our taxpayers, we've already paid $32 million.
Who been told y'all that black folks was going to the back of the bus during the Biden administration?
Hotep Jesus?
Yeah.
Dollars out of our taxes to house and take care of the migrants thus far. Now, we already know the only ones who qualify to become citizens in asylum here from the starts of they were here after August, they don't even qualify. Period. But here we're going to be taking care of them for 5 to 7 years while there's paperwork floating on people's desk. And why? Send them home. Send them back. But Venezuela already said, oh, we're not taking them back. So now,
I got a question for you. Who did you vote for?
First of all, I have no problem with saying that I did vote for Biden because I was not voting. I did. But here it is.
Hold on.
Wait,
that was a question. Now you answered it, right?
Okay.
This migrant influx that we're dealing with right now, this is your fault.
Okay, well, let me say, hold up. First of all, it is.
Got him. It's true. All the black women that voted for Biden, all the white women that voted for Biden, all the everybody that voted for Biden, you guys fucking suck at life. The black women that vote for Biden, you especially suck at life. But only if you was out here talking shit about Trump voters, Trump supporters, hoteps, and black men that were telling you might want to vote for Trump. If you're going to pick the best of two evils, you should probably pick Trump, right? I had somebody on my Instagram, a black brother, he saw me do the tariffs interview, and he makes a comment. So his first comment was facepalm, right? And I was, when I brought up my barber said things were better under Trump as far as the economy is concerned, right? So this guy, DJ Knotts, Knotts, please don't harass him. I'm just telling you who this came from. The inaccuracies, this is his response, because when he gave me the facepalm, I was like, what happened? Like, why are you giving me the facepalm? I'm like, this is some of the least problematic shit I've ever said. I'm like literally telling you what my barber said, not what I said. I'm telling you what I heard. So he says the inaccuracies around Trump making the economy better during his first term, and a majority of it being due to PPP loans and other bailouts, needs to cease. Between that and the way we ignore the way he incited violence against our people. What? Between that and the way the way we ignore the way he incited violence against our people. Trump incited violence against black people? I missed that part of his tenure. When did that happen? Anybody can tell me when that happened? When did Trump incite violence against black people? I don't remember that happening. He must still believe the whole Charlottesville hoax thing. He said it'll only be worse when and if he wins this time. I don't think Biden is capable of anything substantial either. So he covers his ass, disclaimer, I'm not a Biden guy. But when we're talking about economy under Trump, and he's like, he tried to reduce it to bailouts and PPP loans. I'm like, no, that's not what my barber told me. That's not what my barber told me. My barber is contrasting the Trump years to the Biden years. And he's basically saying like, yo, inflation's gotten so bad that, first of all, his rent went up. Prices are up. And he said it's getting harder to run the barbershop under Biden. That's what he's talking about. He's not talking about PPP loans and bailouts and all this stuff. People are talking about, what does it feel like to survive? Under Trump, it was a lot easier to survive. Under Biden, the piggy banks are everybody's saving. Nobody's spending. Everybody's scared to spend because they're worried about economic collapse and, you know, rising prices of food. People don't have the same money to spend like they did before. So, you know, what the fuck? I don't know what the hell he's talking about. But again, like that black lady, I don't know what's up with these people, yo. Like, actually, I know what's up with them. They fall under the same issue of just not being somebody who studies, right? Somebody who takes time to understand the world that they live in. You know, the content they get doesn't give them that, right? So, for example, if you didn't take the time to learn the world around you, the best thing you could do is watch Hotep Jesus, the Grift Report, because I'm going to tell you what's around you, what you should be paying attention to around you, what's most important to pay attention to around you. And that, in a way, is you making a decision yourself. You chose to listen to this program as opposed to some other bullshit that's probably talking about, you know, God knows what right now. They're probably talking about the Bloodbath thing, right? So you chose to be here because you know you would get something more edifying, something more enriching. And that's a decision. So when these black women, you know, like the one we saw on the screen earlier, I give her a pass if she was giving Trump people a pass. Like if she was saying, look, it's your right to vote. If you think Trump's the best guy, then good for you. But if she was one of those people over here talking about all these stupid hoteps, then I got no love for you. Because not only did you make the wrong decision at the ballot, the people that were trying to inform you, you castigated, cast aside. You know, you made us seem like we're the idiots, like we're the bad guys, like we sold out, like we were like black KKK or some shit like that. And it's just like, can I get an apology? I need some reparations from these motherfuckers. But a lot of it comes back to human nature. It's just like a hive mind, right? You do what your friends do. And that's why you have to be very careful of who your friends are, and because you'll do what your friends do. So, you know, black women, they, you know, have these friend groups, and these friend groups, all they do is sit around and pass around misinformation all day. They're not really, they're not really diving into the studies. They're just listening to propaganda, left-wing propaganda, and making decisions based upon that. They're making decisions based upon emotions and not logic. That's really what this comes down to. Oh, I don't like what Trump said. Oh, he's an asshole. Oh, look at his tweets. All right, can we look at how the country's going to be, though? Like, I can care less about all this tweet shit. You know, like, you voting with your emotions. I'm voting with my brain. And the last time I checked, the Democrats ain't been too good to black folks. So why are y'all voting for him again? I'm a little confused. Or a lot of bit confused. Francisco Sanchez Jr., thank you for the $10 super. He says, so the current President Obama was seen leaving Downing Street after meeting with Rishi Sunak. America is taking new orders from Mother Britain. Yeah, I saw that this morning, and I didn't think that was a story. Again, I didn't think that was a story or something to be discussed. And maybe it's a blind spot for me because of how I understand things. But I said this last week with the inflation, with interest rates. I was like, when we were talking about what the decision the Fed is going to do with interest rates, all you had to do was look at what the London Bank, what the Bank of England, what the European Union, what decisions did they make as far as interest rates? And if you look, when they announced rate cuts, America cut rates. Now it's not always like this, and then when they held rates, that's how I was able to predict and be like, well, this is part of the decision why I think America is going to hold rates. And then a few weeks later, they said they're going to hold rates, right? So America is, the clearest thing to me is when there's a royal wedding, right? When there's a royal wedding, it's on every single station in America. If that doesn't show you who's in charge, then nothing does, right? But America is a satellite of England. England is the financial center of the Illuminati. So England is the financial center of the Illuminati. And America is the military section of the Illuminati, and Israel is the religious center of the Illuminati, right? So these three entities sort of work. Europe, England is one, and then technically it's England, and everybody else is England's bitch, because they been got bitched, and America is the military might, right? So that's just kind of like how Illuminati works. Everybody should know this. You should have seen this in the documentary. Something Rings, the Ring of Power. Ring of Power is like this 6-hour documentary called Ring of Power, really old and ancient, and it talks about Manly P. Hall talks about this, and the power structure of how we're under British rule. And somebody said Vatican City. No, Vatican City is not the religious center of the world. People think that. These people think that. It's not. The Vatican takes orders. Am I allowed to say this? Chad, who does the Vatican take orders from? Chad, who does the Vatican take orders from? Matter of fact, speaking of Carol Quigley, Tragedy and Hope, he even says it in his book. Somebody see, my real niggas in the chat know. The rest of y'all gotta step y'all red pills up. A wise man once said, thank you, Jabari. If you have a UK queen on your money or TV, you're British and just don't realize it. Facts. So I'm going to tell you what Carol Quigley says here. Let me just make sure I have. All right, so we're on that page. And he mentions, and we're going to go to phone lines in a minute. Text Hotep your name at 202-596-5631. And he says right here, okay, this is Carol Quigley, Tragedy and Hope. Listen to this. Western civilization began, as all civilizations do, in a period of cultural mixture. In this particular case, it was a mixture resulting from the barbarian invasions which destroyed classical civilization in the period 350 to 700 AD. By creating a new culture from the various elements offered from the barbarian tribes, the Roman world, the Saracen world, and above all, the Jewish world. And next to Jewish world is, in parentheses, Christianity. Christianity. This is on page 17. It doesn't say Christianity and in parentheses Jewish world. It says Jewish world and in parentheses Christianity. And don't make me get Bryson in here so he can tell y'all about how you're practicing a Jewish religion if you're a Christian. So you might think it's happening in the Vatican, but it ain't happening in the Vatican. The presidents don't kiss a wall in the Vatican, okay? Money Mayweather didn't kiss no wall in the Vatican. He kissed a wall in Israel. Israel is the religious center of the Western world. And don't you forget that. Don't let them tell you that lie that it's the Vatican. The Vatican's like this thing that they like to make people believe in that doesn't really have much power. They got in their own nice ass secret police and they got a beautiful ass library. But the Vatican be getting punked. The Vatican gets punked by everybody. Stop, Jabari. I said too much. My bad, yo. My bad. So yeah, anyway, so Obama, right? Like, why is Obama going to England to get marching orders, right? You want to know why? Because when you want to get some shit done, you go hire a nigga. Like, niggas get shit done. This is what it comes back to. Like, they like to say we got low IQ, but nah, niggas is really fucking smart. We're some of the most charismatic people, some of the smartest people on this planet, okay? And they sent Barack Obama over there because he's probably one of the most competent individuals to carry out the orders. Plain and simple. I mean, Barack Obama did the impossible by becoming a president, you know? Usually when you're a president, you know, you got to run and you fail the first time and then you run again or you're really connected. Don't forget he's a Bush. Don't forget he's a Bush. I almost left that out. So, yeah. And then the other thing you gotta take into account is why he posed for the picture. Why did he pose for the camera? Why did he wave to the cameras? Let's see if we can pull the video up. Right? And this is the shit people like try to make news and they tell you, oh, look, Obama's going in. What is he talking about? That nigga probably ain't even in there talking about shit. What does this lady say? And here we have it, Barack Hussein Obama attending private meetings when we all know it's a treasonous bastard behind the Biden regime. Liz Churchill. Do I follow her? I do. Damn. She's grifty. Obama's primary mission is to use the government to destroy the government using Marxist lawyers. I guess. I don't fucking know. Obama's just going in there to get his marching orders. But look, if you take a look, it's media outside.
What are you here to talk about? Any advice from the Prime Minister?
The nigga literally turns and goes, hey, how you doing? Thank you for the question. See you later. Like, you have no idea what he's going in here for. And at the end of the day, it's probably a distraction. It's Monday. It's a slow news day. Obama walked inside a building. I need y'all to get it the fuck together, man. I need y'all to get it the fuck together. Obama walked inside a building. Oh, my God. What are they planning? It's the end of the world. Need y'all to get it together. Really, really, really need y'all to get it together. Everybody knows. Well, the Hoteps know who runs the show, right? Shout out to my chat for knowing who the spiritual center is. Shout out to the chat, my real niggas in the chat. The rest of y'all thought it was the Vatican. I used to believe that too. I used to believe it was the Vatican too. I fell for that at one point too. This stream has been demonetized. Yeah, this stream definitely got demonetized. There's definitely no hope in monetizing this stream. I'm going to open up phone lines in a second here, but I think I want to play the Drudge game. That was fun last week where I looked at the Drudge and pulled out news articles and then talk shit about them. That was kind of fun. So I think I want to do that again. In the meantime, text Hotep Media at 202-596-5631. I'm going to bring up the Drudge right now, and then we're going to go to the phone lines. Let's fix this. All right. Drudge Report. Even the Drudge Report. This is rich. Bloodbath. Trump fails to get an appeal for bond, $454 million. All right, who gives a fuck? What else they got on this page? American news. And see, here's the skill, right? The skill is looking at shit and knowing what's important to pay attention to, and what's fake. What's not fake news is like, it's really what's most important. Like, where should your eyes be, right? American news has lost its nerve. Trump predicts the end of democracy if he loses. I hate that word, democracy. I really wish people would stop using it like that, like it's a good thing. Wisconsin vote could come down to grocery prices? Well, yeah, duh. King Charles declared alive after Russian media shares fake death announcement. I never paid attention to that. Viagra could be good for your brain. You know what's good for your brain and your loins as well? Apex, a leader in testosterone support. Go get it now. menofwater.com. Save 30% with that link in the description box below or the QR code on your screen. Florida synagogue set aflame in arson. How dare they? Florida Chabad and community center in flame. Damn. Alhamdulillah. Prayers up for the homies. Prayers up for my small hat homies. U.S. aircraft faces relentless battle against Houthi attacks. I don't believe that. There's no way. There's no way these people. This probably is just like the Houthis are probably doing. I know this headline's bullshit. So UUVs, unarmed vehicles or something like that. What are UUVs? Is it unarmed vehicles or unarmed? Hold on. Let's take a look. Unmanned underwater vehicles. Okay, so underwater vehicles. Okay, that's interesting. Pretty cool. It's the German tactic. Shout out to the U-boats. So yeah, I know this is definitely one of those headlines that is hyperbolic. They probably got like little fucking submarine things that they're having to account for. I'm sure the U.S. Navy can handle that. Looks like they're having some issues in communist Cuba. Lights went out across the island. And then Don Lemon's interview with Elon Musk. All right. It's a slow news Monday. It's a slow news Monday. It's like there's nothing here. There's nothing here. Let's go to phone lines. Text Hotep Renee to 202-596-5631. And I'll be right back after the short, brief commercial break.
Envision a sanctuary where community and sustainability are the cornerstones of living. In this haven, every family is able to grow their own food, children flourish through homeschooling tailored to unlock their full potential, and education extends beyond textbooks, instilling self-worth and a deep understanding of the world around them. Here, goodwill isn't just an ideal, it's the essence of daily life, where respect for law and order harmonizes with the community's resourcefulness. This place isn't just a dream, it's a call to action for everyone who believes in a better, more connected way of living. Join us in building a future where each individual's contributions create a tapestry of enduring harmony and prosperity. Join us in Hotepistan.
The views expressed by guests are their own, and their appearance on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. Views and opinions expressed by Hotep Jesus are those of Hotep Jesus and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Hotep Nation or any of its officials. If you have any questions about this disclaimer, please contact our Office of General Counsel via the sheet of account.
We got Rudy on the line. Rudy, what's up, man?
What's good, HJ? How's everybody in the chat living on this beautiful Monday, man? Beautiful sunny day down here.
Shout out to the
North
chat.
Carolina woods. Shout out to the chat. Hey, look, once again, man, Elon Musk proves me right, man. That's the smartest dumb bastard that ever lived, man. The smartest dumb bastard that ever lived. Because where Don Lemon was pushing the buttons and the questions trying to make him seem like a racist, all he had to do was say, yeah, they're lowering the standards with DEI in the medical industry. And then when Don said how, he said, well, they're trying to tell women that they can be men and men that they can be women. That's lowering the standards of biology.
This is a real Hotep brother.
Oh, I like that take.
Lowering the standards of biology to a moronic viewpoint. For a moronic viewpoint. What is a man going to go in and get a pap smear? Is a woman going to go in and get a prostate exam? So 100% they are lowering the standards of the medical facility. But it's not based on race, because that's what riles everybody up. And the genius billionaire was too dumb to point out how they are really lowering the standards and how it's happening and what's happening. So Elon, you need a PR guy who's connected to the streets. Call up a Hotep, man. Any Hotep could have gave you the piece. He needs to get off his app, man, and stop reading these right-wing grifters.
He shouldn't have took the interview in the first place.
That's what I said off the gate, man. I was like, this is a gay man whose only claim to fame is his ability to fellatiate other men. Why would you even talk to that guy? Because he's got dick breath. Why would you talk to anybody with dick breath? And we're demonetized, so fuck it.
The thing is this. Here's the thing. I'm going to keep it a buck with you. Pause no homo. It's some cool gay dudes out there. Pause no homo. It's some cool gay dudes out there, right?
Listen,
the thing is, some of them ain't real. They're shilling, they're grifting, and Don Lemon's just a dishonest grifter. And that's why I'm saying, when you mix that with feminine energy, you get, it's like pettiness, right? Like, there's nobody pettier than a woman. And then once you take that with a man and then add the rainbow, like, they try to out petty women. And they act like women. And then you see like this, like, oh, CNN, you fired me. Hold on, I'm going to get Elon Musk. Watch this. I can do the job. Watch me, massa. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get a massa. It's that type of energy. And that's why I would have told Elon, like, yo, either he wants to make content on the platform or he does not. If he does, we can have a discussion about the contract and then let that be that, right? Instead, he got baited and said, well, I'll do it if you do the interview. I'd have been like, how about after you sign the contract ink dries, I am going to do an interview with Don Lemon. But to do it beforehand showed that he was being dishonest. He was being deceitful.
But actually, I don't even think he wanted that Twitter contract. I think he wants to get back in with his MSM handlers, man. His Mockingbird handlers.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. He didn't really want the Twitter contract, because if he did, he wouldn't have been doing all of this.
Nah, because he has the inability to think. And listen, I've been in prison, man, so I know dudes that were outright homosexuals that were cool as a fan, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't judge anybody on their sexuality, right? I don't agree with it. I'm not trying to hang out with you, but I'm not going to fucking walk up and be like some gay bashing asshole just for no reason. You're going to live your life. I don't agree with it. We're not going to be cool. We're not going to go ride around in the car and smoke blunts together. No, absolutely not. But I'm not going to, and it's sprites like Don Lemon that make me say something like, I'm not talking to dick breath over there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm with you though. I'm with you, though, brother. I'm with you, man. I'm with you, man.
All right, let me get the Nephilim in here, man.
Hey, man, bring in the Nephilim, man. Salute to the chat, man. Hotep and Bill, my brother. Hotep and Bill.
Hotep and Bill. Let's get Goldstein in here. It's just, You know, I think my expectations for people is just way too high. I think that's what the issue is. Like, I'm expecting people to have integrity and morality, and when they don't, I'm just like, what? Like, why? Like, why? Like, why do you have to be like this? And you know what annoys me most? It's not even the grifters. It's the sheep of the grifters. Where when you just, you say something that's different from what the grifters are saying, they're like, oh my God, what are you talking about?
Call from Murphy's Law Rescue.
It's like, fam, just leave me alone. Like, that be my issue. My issue isn't necessarily that grifters are grifting and grifters have fans and the fans grifting. It's that they come at me. Like, leave. If you want to be dumb and stupid, stay over there. But they choose to come to the Grift Report, be in the chat, and then try and argue. And it's just like, fam, really? You inside Hotepistan arguing for the ops, dog? Like, you look crazy in the chat. You look really crazy. I feel bad for these people, yo. But that's the part that annoys me. Goldstein, what's up, bro?
What's happening?
What's happening, man? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Now, I learned something today watching the show.
Okay.
The earlier part, when you were doing the Mo Fax part there.
Yeah.
Mo Fax is Don Lemon, nigga.
Wait, what?
Mo Fax is Don Lemon.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
How is Mo Fax Don Lemon?
How is he not? You heard Lemon spiel that whole time, but the white man though.
Oh, yeah.
Every time I'm not, but we can do this over here, and then all these little statistics and facts and figures that make you look silly every time I say them. But the white man though.
But white supremacy produced those statistics, so how can you really trust them?
Right.
Actually, it's these are black scientists that put this study together, but they went to the white supremacist school. But actually, they went to HBCU. But the HBCU was funded by white supremacy, and it's just like, all right, fuck it, man. The white man's just fuck it, he wins.
Yeah. Old facts is Don Lemon. That's why he ain't showed his face.
Oh my
we ain't
God.
never seen that nigga.
Yeah.
Until we see that nigga, he Don Lemon. Now, as far as these motherfucking red whites, bro, I see they got you on one today. They had me on one earlier, pretty much for the same shit.
What?
This whole fucking, they're lowering the standards ass shit, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now, some of that shit, okay, I'll fuck with you, whatever. Maybe it's a bad idea. Others is just like, come the fuck on, shut up.
Yeah.
And here's how you could tell how to suss that out. Which one is the shut the fuck up Matt Walsh, or which one is the you might have a point with this type shit.
Uh-huh.
Today, they on that bullshit from the Nashville Police Department. Right?
The shooting?
The training video from the Nashville Police Department where they got I guess they lowered the standards.
Course?
Yeah.
Bruh.
That's their shit now, right? Look at this, right? They making our police weaker. They fucking it up. They putting weak ass women who can't run in there. They lowering the standards. DEI. Why? Right?
Yep.
Keep in mind, this is the same conservative Inc. motherfuckers that have made names for themselves, telling you every day, if you're a fucking conservative, they have made a name for themselves, telling you every day how you're fucking under siege by something.
Mm.
If it ain't the illegals, it's the gays. If it ain't the gays, it's the niggas.
Yeah.
If it ain't the niggas, it's China. You under siege by something, right? And then they blew that up to such levels now that it's unsustainable, because They spent the better part of 2 years telling you how your government, your fucking judiciary, and your fucking local law enforcement are all corrupt by enforcing all these motherfucking corrupt COVID restriction laws, taking people's businesses, knocking motherfuckers over their head for going to church just to pray.
Yeah.
All this shit, right?
Yeah.
And now Matt Walsh wants that apparatus to be the strongest, most useful, and capable motherfuckers that can be, so they can beat you over the head even better next time they decide to be on one.
That's a good point, Goldstein. Like, if you're looking at the trajectory of America and you living here today, you're definitely looking at the police like, I don't know if I want to see a police that's fitted up like a Navy SEAL, right? That could be some issues, right? And that's just right. Based upon the proximity to your home, right? Like if these niggas is on some Navy SEAL team shit, half of them is crooked, so somebody with that type of skill is gonna be busting in your door legally or unlawfully. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So that's a good point. Like you kind of want to see the constables at a weakness. I like that.
And the thing is, my where I'm coming at this from is, while it's a practical thing that I personally believe would be a good thing to have your weak ass police out there, right?
Yeah.
That would be a beneficial thing to me, to the people I love,
as an individual,
things of this nature,
yeah.
Right? But where I'm coming at this from is these conservative Inc. motherfuckers made millions of dollars telling you how fucking much of a problem law enforcement is. All up in your shit, getting you to subscribe to X, Y, and Z. Go out to this function and pay for this motherfucking meeting. They did all that only to then turn around and tell you we need to make them motherfuckers stronger. That's my thing. It's like your rhetoric don't match up with what you sold me initially. So you might just be a fucking grifter that I don't need to be basing life decisions on, like who I'm going to vote for, who I'm going to protest with, who I'm going to get into funk with if necessary, all that shit. That's my whole thing. It's like you don't line up, bro. You spent the better part of 2 years, and we're just talking 2 years ago, telling me how law enforcement was beating motherfuckers up, spraying and taking motherfuckers' businesses and kicking in this door and kicking in that door, only to tell me they need to be better.
Oh, let me try and find that video.
Shit don't line up, bro.
Because that video was low-key funny. I was like, yo, you know what that shit reminded me of was that movie Police Academy.
yeah, I can see that.
Remember all them niggas was trying to be cops? Is this it? Nashville Police Department drops ability. So again, I just want to point out that black people take the rap for DEI, but every time you see DEI pop up, it's always a white woman. Because what does it say here? It says they decreasing the test requirements for female force. This is feminism. DEI is feminism. This is Barbara at HR calling the shots, bro. This is crazy. And the first thing they do is, Tyrone can't fly.
Women are scared to take that step. Maybe.
Hey, don't they got a black lady running the course?
You can.
Or am I mistaken?
I'm looking for that. That's not this video. Where's the black lady?
They better not have a black lady running that course.
Yo, the black lady running. They had a black lady running. You know they did. Shonda, show them how they do it.
Man.
Hold on, I'm gonna find it. I think Jabari put it in the chat. I know Jabari put it in the chat because I think that's where I synced it. Question is, which chat did he put it in? Was it this one? It's probably the best of the internet one.
Fuck that.
I can't.
Con Inc. is having a fit over that motherfucking video right now. Oh my God, my safety. Oh my God, my neighborhood, our city's looking ass motherfucker.
Son,
Shut your ass up.
That shit is mad female behavior. Like, this is supposed to be, two-way. When they show this video, the only response is, that's cool, I ain't worried. And you just standing there with your AK. That's
Right.
how you respond to this shit. Not the, oh, woe is me, the police can't protect me shit. Nigga.
Yeah. It's the same shit. Listen, it's the same shit when you got motherfuckers asking for reparations while from the motherfucker that they done said is evil incarnate.
Yeah.
Mo facts. So it's one of them things. It's like, come on,
Are
man.
we setting up the Mofax versus Goldstein debate? Is that what we're doing? Is that Saga 3?
Man, what's the topic? I don't even give
White
a shit.
supremacy, obviously.
Well, I can't debate that. That's like debating. That's like debating who wins in a fight between Goku and Superman because neither one of them niggas exist. You could debate that forever.
So then that's yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Debating white supremacy is like debating evil, because that's basically what he's saying, and everybody synthesizes their version of it through whatever lens they fucking see life through.
Yeah.
His just happens to be a white one. So it's like whatever.
Yo, where did I see that video? I'm gonna type in police obstacle course. Let's see if it pops up if I do that.
You can get it on Walsh's shit.
It's on Matt Walsh's page?
Criers. Yeah, he was one of the lead criers.
Remember I was supposed to do Matt Walsh and they censored me?
Yep. That fool is a sucker. Hey, let me tell you something, man. Dude, has been selling his motherfucking people a dream for a minute now. Like I said, he was telling y'all just 2 years ago that they was fucking arming up motherfucking IRS agents to come get your ass if you're a conservative, right? They're changing laws and all this shit from fucking making you to where you can't talk, you can't do this. And now he's entering into the realm of, now it's the white man shit. He's been telling y'all that y'all under siege for a minute now, right? And then the motherfuckers who he's been telling y'all is pointing the gun at you. He said, but we need these motherfuckers with better aim.
It's like you know what it is like. I got the shit on the screen now. You know what it's like. Left-wing tactics were so effective. The right said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna try that shit too," and then became the woke right.
That's it, bro. That's it. Basically, what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, these motherfuckers sold you on an idea of America and your life that was completely false. It wasn't as bad, nowhere near as bad as these motherfuckers been selling you, but that's all they can sell.
Right.
It's, oh my God, it's going to get ugly. It's going to be fucked up. And to some degree, like I said, they're right. That's what makes the shit so intoxicating, because we all know they're right to some degree. But you got to ask yourself as an individual, how right are they in your life? How right are they in your life? You can't be out here trying to fight the good fight on this motherfucking grand scale worldwide against all these global elites and all this shit. You can't be out here doing this. You can't keep your motherfucking front yard clean.
Big facts.
It's just one of them things. Quit fucking listening to these grifting ass motherfuckers. If that's not evidence that they grifting, then I don't know what is. Because they're doing the worst possible scenarios of two shits that don't even line up. That's all I got, though.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir, man. Hotep and Bill.
Hotep and Bill. What the fuck is this shit? What is this? Y'all. They should just hire crackheads.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
They should hire crackheads. And I know what you're going to say. You can't have crackheads working for the police. They have a problem. They're going to be smoking crack on the job. And that's my point exactly. They gonna know where to crack at. You want to cut down on crack, hire the crackhead. I bet you the crackhead will pass this fucking fitness test. He'll have the highest fucking score. You put some crack at the end of that bitch. What are we doing? What are we doing?
That.
You lucky you were Titan. Otherwise, I wasn't gonna pick up in the middle of my rant. You lucky you wanted the Hotep Titans.
Well, you ran about that gay nigga doing that training course?
This is a dude?
Is it?
That's a dude? I thought this was a woman.
Is that a female?
I thought it was. Is that a man? No, that's a woman, dog.
That's a woman?
Fucked
up. Okay.
That's fucked up. You just called somebody auntie a dude, yo.
Shit.
I'm just trying to figure out why they got her out here dressed up like a sailor. What is up with these pants? They did sister so dirty.
This androgynous shit has killed me, man.
What is this obstacle course? No.
Continue running.
No.
This is why niggas get away. This is why niggas get away.
This you know what you know what's wrong with this obstacle course? It's not the people who have to pass this obstacle course. It's the person who created it that I got beef with. Because even if you lowered the standards, what the fuck is this shit? You put a 2x4 on the ground?
Get a Ninja Warrior nigga to do it to make it. You know, they be making good obstacle courses.
Oh, no, you don't want to do no Ninja Warrior shit. You ever been in one of them places?
Yeah.
Nigga.
Man, I almost broke my shit up, man. I almost fucking my legs, almost lost my legs in one of them places. It's not a good.
I was out for 6 weeks. I was out for 6 weeks. Torn lat.
Yo.
Torn lat.
It's a place of injury. It's a place of death.
Nigga, I went in that motherfucker. You know, this is at the point where, you know, I was kind of jacked and, you know, I could do fucking 20 pull-ups in a set, right? Pretty fucking easily. So I'm like, yeah, now I'm ready for, I said, now I'm ready for American Ninja. Nigga. I go over there, motherfucker. I said, oh, it's a different type of strength.
Yo.
On TV, this shit look easy.
It's not that easy.
That shit's not easy. You will kill yourself trying that shit.
Listen, I need you and Goldstein. I need y'all to stop speaking bad about MoFax. We're Hoteps. We don't speak ill of the dead. All right, we don't speak. We don't speak ill of the dead.
This a real Hotep brother.
Come on,
Come on, man.
Why y'all cooking them, yo?
Well, that nigga was slayed in front of all of us, man. The first execution, the first live execution since the Lupe fiasco incident. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to resurrect his spirit. Let him rest, man. Let him rest.
Oh my
God!
But
on some real shit, I just don't think that. I just don't believe that Goldstein, that MoFax is equipped enough to debate Goldstein. I mean, I just don't think that he should have even been debating Sonny. I mean, honestly,
it wasn't supposed to be a debate.
It was a debate. Let's be real. It was a debate. It was a debate. It was a debate. And the intentions were clear, and that's all I got to say on that. But I just he's not at that level yet. He's not. He's operating off of one book from the Civil Rights era, and that's it. Yo, he's operating off of just the Black Codes, just Neely Fuller, my nigga. There's nothing else. So I don't want Goldstein. I feel like it would be a waste of Goldstein, and this would be like breaking even. I feel like he'd be like breaking even. I don't think that he's gonna get much from it. You know what I'm saying? It's like picking on the slow kid at the playground. I'm just being real here. You know, I respect to MoFax as an individual, but you're not there yet. You're not there yet. You need to read like 3 more books. You know what I'm saying? Out of the one, but you know this that black owned thing that you were talking about.
Yeah.
I think that that shit is just a trap, man. But really, like, just labeling
What
anything. The black part, the part where you center it around black, it becomes a trap.
I disagree.
Man,
I'm surprised to hear that from the black nationalists of the bunch.
Listen, man.
What do you
man.
mean?
I have beliefs about the word black and when it should be really applied, and I think that when it's applied in the business sense, I think that it's good for congregating around ideas. But black people historically, even when we network with each other, we don't even actually network with each other. Like, it has to be a Hotep type black man to network. Niggas don't network with you. They want you to buy and share their product, but they're not trying to return that favor. And so when they aggregate, when they congregate around that, it doesn't really benefit anybody. And then on the outside, the consumership you could have, that, maybe you do have red whites who are shopping your product. Red whites are very sensitive, as we know, and they're turned off by just the visual representation of, the black-owned moniker or the black-owned thing. They don't care if they're giving money to a black person. They care that it represents something that they may be inherently adverse to. And I think that from that perspective, when you use black in a business sense, it doesn't necessarily, at least for the general and the average. I mean, if you're an extraordinary person, then you can take that and do something with it. Or
it's the fact that they're triggered because we already did black only.
Yeah.
There's a brand that was literally popular for being black only. And white people wore it, and white people never had a problem with it. It was called FUBU. For
exactly.
By us.
They didn't even understand that, and they may have, and then they knew, but they didn't know.
Okay, so you got for us, by us, which is basically saying this is black only, right? Now, but the only thing is, it doesn't say black only. They are upset at the forwardness, the frankness, the
implication.
The implication of a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
But they're like the audacity for you to use white only. I mean, black only. That's our shit, But to me, I'm like, you could go to China and some of them spots is China only.
Yeah. No one's scared of that shit. They should be, but they're not. There's a fear that comes with it that they refuse to admit.
Here's the deeper issue. Let me tell you what the deeper issue is. A bunch of white people and a bunch of black people were dragged here on boats to start a new venture.
Yeah.
Okay. And they
forced to fucking cooperate.
And they both lost their identity during the fiasco. Then they were given the label white and black to be perpetual enemies in this new population, in this new world. So the PSYOP is not only black, it's white. So if the joint said Italian only, it would sound educated.
Yeah.
If it said Russian only, nobody would be like, why can't I go in there? Nigga, can you speak Russian? Shut up. Right?
Yeah, or Russian owned or Italian owned. Now it's authentic.
Now it's authentic. I like that. Exactly.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I was just thinking yesterday, I ordered Italian food from the Mexicans. When's the last time I ordered Italian food from Paisano? You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to get it from Leonardo.
It's also because there's no consensus on what black is for anyone like there is these other things. So you can't make it authentic if you yourself cannot conceptualize what it is without being wrong to someone else or even just wrong in your own, back thought. That's why I say it's kind of a crutch. But when you do it in like the King Randall sense, right? Community building or things like that, there's ways that it works. But when it comes to business, even politics. I just feel like it's something that we have to move past. People have to aggregate. Black people especially, I think, have to start to come around, like just the ideas and forward motion and things, come around like things like Hotep, right? You're coming around philosophies rather than the race itself, because, we can make core philosophies that Black people believe in and make that a belief, which is what Hotep is supposed to be, and they should gravitate to that. So I just feel like that's the only way.
Like if we say, yo, this is a Hotep, like if we say, yo, this is a Hotep only joint, nobody would say nothing.
Exactly.
Nobody would say, nobody would be like, oh, they're racist. No, this Hotep only. You got to be Hotep to get in here.
And you're most likely to get the kind of Black people who are trying to move forward with the same mindset and moral code that you are. You know that you're not really dealing with niggas for the most part. You might get a handful.
Hotep, when we say Hotep, this is colorless. We've transcended race. If you look at the complexion of the Grifties, for example, the Hotep, people were confused. Like, yo, what the fuck's going on? And we all know there's a source of wars of the Grammys. You got all types of, because it's a mentality, it's a mindset. See what I'm saying?
I
so
love
if we
that
say,
it's become that.
So if we say, this is a Hotep only event, nobody gonna question that. But that's the issue when people start moving under things that came with history, right? Like Black only invokes white only. There's history there. But when you create something new, if you were to say, this is the X movement, or this is the, Duale, right? You take some African word. This is the Duale movement. And everybody in your community know Duale mean for us, by us. Nobody would blink an eye. The red whites wouldn't even know about it. You see what I'm saying? But what happens is certain things happen, like Black Business Fair. The grifters grab it and go, look, it says Black only. And they know, the grifters know, at being agents, they know to use these terms Black only, because you're not actually going to think about what the story actually says. You're going to see that headline on that tweet from that grifter that says Black only, and you interpret Black Business Fair with Black only. But if it said Chinese Business Fair, nobody would fucking care. They'd be like, oh, Chinese people doing business down there, man.
That's right. I think what's good about Hotep right now is that it has taken it's almost gone in a circle from where it started. Because, you look at Ptah Hotep, right? And you look at it being a way of life and not aggregated, not centered around a race. It's not, this is for us only. It was something that was prescribed for man, right? And it took its path all the way to, to where it was able to be scapegoated in the Black community. And it's almost come back to where it's supposed to be, because now you have people adopting it in the way that it actually was created. And I think that that's going to be what keeps it moving forward. And, the more we're in a way now where we can share technology, we can connect with each other. So it's going to be much harder for it to be co-opted in the way that it was in the past, I feel like. So I just wanted to leave on that note, because I think that that's important for people who are coming here now to realize, is that you're not coming to a place of race, you're coming to a place of thought. And I think that that's an important thing to hammer down.
Correct. A lot of people keep trying to equate the Hotep shit with skin color, and I'm like, y'all not seeing the big picture here. Some people some people think that, like, I'm a Black nationalist and shit like that, and it's just like, can I explain my Black nationalism really fast?
Please. People need to hear that.
I haven't ever tried to put this into words, because it's more of a knowing than a thinking, right? Like, this is something I just know. And what I believe is that the many races that we have, they must be either consumed or left separate. I think the ideal is being consumed, right? And that's what I think white fear is. But I say consumed because once everybody blends into one, then we're one people, and now you can't argue over race anymore, right? So my homeboy actually came up with that thought, and I thought it was quite profound. I don't entirely agree with it, but now, so that's that level. The next level of my black nationalism is from a survival standpoint. If you are black in America, right, there's two ways to look at it, the individual or as a group, right? So the individual will say, yeah, I happen to be black, but, you know, all these things that black people go through don't apply to me. Okay? And that can either be a coonish thought or a very healthy thought, depending on where it's coming from, right? Then there's just being real. Like, you know, you've dealt with some sort of white microaggression at some point. You know, you've dealt with, you know, some sort of racism, right? You know you've dealt with it, right? So there's no way you can deny that this thing of racism exists, right?
Right.
You've seen it manifest for a group of people in formed by democratic policies, formed by socialist policies. So you see what it does to a particular group of people. You've seen them take black people and put them in zoos. You can't remove that from your memory once you know that. You know there was a Ma'afa in Belgium, King Leopold, right? That doesn't get discussed as a Holocaust.
Right.
So there is very real animus towards the darker people on this planet. When you look at Argentina was practicing ethnic cleansing. Now obviously, you know, we know the Nazis went there and all of that, but I'm not saying that Argentinians are bad for doing that. What I'm saying is that the groups on this planet are practicing self-preservation, and it seems like black people are not practicing self-preservation. We always want to, you know, be cool with all the other groups and shit like that. So when it comes to things like interracial dating and miscegenation, I look at it like, you kind of bailed on your race. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're supposed to deal with all the defects of your tribe and rock out, you know?
I was gonna at the end, I was going to say, you know, this describes my black nationalism minus, and then add the interracial dating part. But I'm glad that you mentioned that part. That way I don't have to, you know what I'm saying? Because that is something that I don't have a something against a person for it. It's just a choice that, you know.
But it becomes cyclical because the individual that's having, you know, children with another race, particularly white people, that comes back to what I said in the beginning about consuming the other races. So you see how this becomes a very deep conundrum. It's like consume the other races. And then some people will look at it like the watering down of black skin.
I don't think the races should be consumed. I think that there's benefit to that diversity in humans. I just think there is.
Here's what I know. That pure black African body is the most powerful thing on this planet. And that's not me. I'm of that, but I'm a watered down African. And I'm not afraid to admit that. There's a lot of people that won't admit that, right? But there is something very special about that African blue-black body. I'm not quite sure what it is, and that's why I'm studying genetics. But I think the suppression of that blackness is a suppression of love. I think that body resonates at the vibration of love and care. Not to say the other races don't. I just think that, you know, since this is probably, you know, the 0 point, God would make us out of love. So, you know, obviously still susceptible to the, you know, 7 deadly sins, right? And gluttony and, you know, greed. Obviously, we're still susceptible to things. We are human. But when I look at these fucking Africans, these niggas is different, man. They're like 10 years old, built like a grown ass man. You know what I'm saying? And they jump really high. And so people will say, yeah, physically there might be some dominance there, but mentally they say the IQs are lower. And what I know is IQ is an environment thing. It's not a genetics thing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a nurture. That's not a nature.
And also, to survive in their world, you know, if we're switching people, people aren't surviving in their world the way that they are going to struggle here. But generally, they do better here. On, you know, you put these people who see their IQ as low in their positions, and they're not going to thrive the way that you can take, you know, someone from an African village and put them in America, and they're going to thrive here. So I look at the IQ thing as kind of null and void to me, because no one is looking at the environment at all when they're measuring these standards.
Yeah.
And making their
environment is very, very, very key to this stuff. And that's why I'm glad I'm studying genetics now, because I'm about to get to the bottom of this shit. I'm about to crush.
You know, you said something. You said watered down African, and I think that's why you have like the FBA train of thought where they're trying to, you know, delineate themselves from Africans entirely and separate themselves, because they would rather be American period or FBA period or descendant of slave period than admit that they are not a pure African. Right. I feel like that there's a bit of self-hate when it comes to not wanting to identify that you are from African people, or that you are, you know, that you are African. You're just not as much African as someone from the continent.
It's probably
I just feel like it's got to be.
I think them niggas are smarter too. I think Africans are smarter than everybody.
Oh. But
when I believe in like when I say like black superiority, like I really believe biologically, like in every single way. I think the black body, that pure black blue blood, that pure black, that blue black body in Africa, I think it's superior in every single way. It's something fucking special about it. I just can't quite put my finger on it yet. It ain't the melanin.
What about them Indians, though?
Huh?
What about them Indians, though? Them Indian scientists be doing great. Like the mathematicians.
So Indians are really good with pattern recognition.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, they like dominate chess as well. But again, that's why I say I think a lot of this comes back to nurture, like what is it that your society nurtures? Because when we talk about highest single income earners in America, like single Nigerian males be kicking everybody ass. Like it's really like Nigerian supremacy on this planet. The doctors, a lot of them skew African as far as like when you take out all the waste in the stats and you just deal with the top of the top, like Nigerians over index like something fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying?
My wife's dad is a pharmacist. He's Nigerian.
The Nigerians, see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like them motherfuckers just they index higher. But again, I think that's a cultural thing. It's about, I mean, think about how
work ethic also.
Well, think about how Nigerian children are raised, right? You ain't allowed to go outside. They parents strict as shit. You ever had a Nigerian friend? Like, no, my parents said I can't come out. Like, what? I can't have a phone. I can't have this. I can't have that. Read this book. Da 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 da. And then the parents be doctors. Like my daughter's friend is going to school to be a doctor, and her parents is doctors, and they Nigerian. Like this is just they've understood that when you go to school, you can either go to school for some bullshit or you can go to school for some real shit. And there's only four majors. You got law, you got medical, you got engineering, and you got what's the one I'm missing? Law,
architecture?
medical,
That'd be in the engineering.
No, that's engineering.
Yeah.
There's another science. I mean, IT falls under engineering, but those are the main three: law, that, and engineering. Yeah, but there's a fourth one that like is slipping me. But those are the three major ones. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what they go to school for. They go to school for some serious majors, and the rest of these motherfuckers, I don't know what the fuck. Yeah, they be going to school to waste time and shit just to say they went.
Business and psychology. That's the ADOS go to college package.
Yeah.
Business and psychology.
Mm.
Two big ass wastes of time. Things that are never entirely used ever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but let me get some more callers in here, man.
All right, word. Hotep and Bill, y'all.
Hotep and Bill, y'all. Who was this? Let the next caller go. All right. But you know that's just my objective opinion. Like, Dr. Yakub is Nigerian. Something about them Nigerian motherfuckers. I'm definitely East African. I'm not a West African phenotype. I don't need no 23andMe to know what the fuck I am. I'm Eastern African. I like being Eastern African. You know, I'm probably, I wouldn't say Oromo, but maybe somewhere close to where the Oromo is. But I'm definitely an East African. But them West Africans, them niggas on some next shit, y'all. I don't the fuck. All the niggas is fucking 6 feet tall. They fast as shit.
Call from.
Okay, what up, y'all?
What up?
How you feeling? What's up,
So
love? Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. I can hear you good.
Okay. So I want to just put this out in the open since somebody's a little bit mad as a moderator on Rumble. I want you, if you're a male, grow some nuts, get some Apex. If you're a female, you're petty. Stop deleting advertisements for HJ that I'm putting up. Grow up. If you have a problem with other people's opinions, just say so. If you can't directly say that to somebody, you shouldn't be a moderator. That's all I got to say. Hotep and Bill, get some Apex.
So I think I figured out what the issue was. Because I'm looking at the moderators, and none of these moderators would do that. I've gotten rid of every moderator I don't know. And what I think it is I think it's Rumble glitch. I think Rumble thinks it's spam. All right, let's do an experiment right now. Type in menofwater.com/K, K-A-Y. Morgan Heverin, $10 over on Rumble. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Greetings from Vermont. Vermont. We got folks out in Vermont. Hairway to Stevens says he's a moderator on Rumble. Ads get deleted. Them's the rules. That's crazy. So Rumble deletes ads on the chat. I think that's what it is. Yeah. Yep. So, coast is clear. What's name is vindicated. It's just me. It's vindicated. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for accusing you of being an insurgent. Kay, you there?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Oops. Hold on. My bad. Let's call Kay back.
Please leave your message for 6.
She probably trying to call us back. Okay, call back. We'll get you in here. What the fuck is this? Hey, it's some bullshit. Thank you, sir. Say what's up to the camera. Yeah. Say what's up to the people, man.
What's up?
I get out of here. That's all y'all get. That's all y'all get. That's my mini me right there. Who's next? I thought Kay was gonna call back. Kay, call back. I hung up on you by accident. Who is? Oh, Spotless. Call him, bro. He looked like me? Yeah, that's my twin. That's my twin. There's no really denying that. I'm making another me. He's a beast, too. He's a beast.
Call from
Spotless.
Spot, what up?
What's going on, man? How you feeling?
Life is good, man. How you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling good. Yo, your son look like you.
That's my twin.
Say, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking of, I was listening to the conversation earlier with the blacks only thing.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say I never saw a business, a black business, and mind you, I'm from New York, from Brooklyn. I never saw a black business that said blacks only. I seen it like promoted towards black people. I've seen it, promoted towards black people or whatever, but never blacks only.
Never black only.
Who with any business scruples, a black with enough business scruples to start a business, who's gonna alienate, all the Hispanic and white? And because if your business is worth anything, you want everybody's business.
Exactly.
So it's like, yeah, of course.
I don't think I remember ever a black business saying this is black only.
The only time I ever seen something say black only is some black and white picture from the 60s. I never saw any. The only thing closest is what you mentioned before, Fubu Violence for us. That's it. And that's it. So that I think that's a false premise. The whole argument.
Well, that's the thing, because that's what they do, right? Like they'll see something that says black owned, right? Or black business fair. And then the grifters take it and sell it to the audience and say, look, they're saying black only business. And it's just like, nah, you put that there. It don't say that. And people fall for it and think, oh, they got black only businesses when there's no black only business. It's like It's like they got the black section on Netflix. It's like going on there and being like, it won't let me watch because I'm white. Like, what?
That don't make any sense. And it's just stupid. It's pointless to even argue, but it was interesting seeing the exchange. But yeah, so that's kind of like maybe a moot point. But the other thing, I was thinking about the South American issue, all the migrants and all of these places being destabilized, and I think we need to look at it in a more protracted way. Like this could be a play, right, for like the U.S. to strengthen like hegemony in the region. Because if you're looking at it like, in the next 10, 15, 20 years, whatever, if there's going to be like the issue with like the BRICS nations against, they setting up their own, pole or whatever. And maybe the U.S. needs to make sure that the nations in the South are more like the governments are friendlier to us. We're going to see a whole bunch of destabilization, just like what we saw in the 70s and the 80s with all those nations, where bunch of puppet dictators installed and all of that. So I feel like that's something to pay attention to. And one thing to look at is, I guess, Cuba. You did mention Cuba.
No, Niger.
You say what?
Niger
in Africa?
Yeah. Look, watch this. I'm gonna show you some shit right now. Hold on. Where's that? Let's type. I'm gonna just type in Niger, and then I'm gonna hit news, and watch this. Let's say right here, Niger's junta revokes military agreement with the United States 18 hours ago. Yeah. Niger is kicking out France, America. They cleaning up. Up. Yeah. That's an example of what you're talking about. Huh?
Yeah, so like the trend is going like, yo, less friendly to Western powers on that continent. So if you like the Pentagon or whatever, and or whatever the powers that be, whatever, and you like, yo, we need to take control of the continent. We already pretty much lockstep in with Canada, but everything south of Texas is a crapshoot as far as whether they align with us or they align with whatever or whatever. So it's like, yo, you got all of these, for some reason, this shit wasn't happening 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years, well, maybe 5, but like now, all of these governments are going kaput. All these people is running up here. And then now, so I think we need to pay attention to Haiti, because Haiti is the Caribbean as well. Haiti, what's going on in Haiti? What's going to happen with the other Caribbean nations? What's going on with them? With the other Caribbean? Yeah. And what's that country that they cleaned up everything and they kicked all the killers out and killed everybody? I can't remember. They got a new leader. He's real popular. I forgot his name.
Where in the Caribbean?
It's South American, and they just got like 500 million in Bitcoin in a hard wallet or whatever.
Venezuela.
Venezuela. So we got to watch what happens with Venezuela, because that's like a kind of like a bellwether too, I think.
Yeah.
Because if they're trying to consolidate power, like, yo, we need everybody in the South to be friendly, because they plan this shit decades ahead.
Yeah.
So you got to see, yo, we need all of the Americas to be one. We need the united. If you like, yo, we need the united continent of America. If you planning out, you're looking at 2100 is the goal. You need the entire continent to be under one thing. So that's what I'm looking at. That's what I see. So I don't know. I gotta see what's going on. You ain't gonna have a bunch of just free willing nation states under Texas and then out in the Caribbean. Not that they also powerful, but they're not gonna want them aligning with China and Russia and these BRICS nations or whatever, because you're taking money away from the U.S. or whatever. So that's what I see. That's pretty much it.
I think it's sort of a trade-off, right? Where America has, or the West has, military installations in their backyard, and the other nations don't have so-called military installations, but they have, stake in our backyard, right? So it's more or less like things are getting evened out now, because we still got a base in Guam, and like we still right there in a backyard at all times. So it is something that is I could see it happening. I could see the BRICS nations taking over the South American continent and the Caribbean. I could absolutely see that happening, and I don't think there's anything the United States government cares too much about, because it seems to me that. All right, so Carol quickly talks about the core of the civilization. So to me, the core of United States power is in London, right? So America's a peripheral territory. Kyle Quigley says the same exact shit. It's a peripheral. So when you say backyard, it's like you're saying it as if it's the backyard of America, but America doesn't fucking exist. It's a peripheral nation. It's a peripheral nation state. So it's part of the empire. but it's that outer edge. This is your expansion, your geographical expansion. I think what this really comes down to is dollar dominance. I don't know how BRICS in them are going to be able to compete with dollar dominance. Dollar dominance, at the end of the day, is what everybody's afraid of. We just had Nigeria. I'm going to pull this up. It says right here, Nigeria ain't playing. Nigeria detains Binance executives indefinitely, no charges. They went in and grabbed the crypto motherfuckers. Nigeria's SEC proposes 400% increase to crypto firm registration fees. Binance just got hit with a court order to release user data. This just got published 4 hours ago. Release user data as Nigerian crisis worsens. So as these nations are, whatever, the currency game is still being won by the dollar. And it's happening through USDT and USDC and the black market dollar and the euro dollar. The dollar is still everything still runs on the dollar.
So you saying America, I've heard that point, like that America is a satellite state of Britain.
Yeah.
And Britain is like the financial center of the world, right?
It's the core of the core of Western civilization.
Now, wouldn't America be? I don't know where I heard the term before. Maybe it was on the show. Like America would be the little brother that got the guns.
Yeah,
so that's where the military might is.
Yeah.
So, if BRICS nations had a chance to take over or heavily influence South American nations and Caribbean nations, it would be the same. They would have America would then, or Britain would have the same problem with that as Russia is having with the
NATO,
United with Ukraine, because you don't want anybody on your
your backyard. Yeah,
that's why I'm looking at it like, yo, America is whatever, America or Britain, however you call it. They gotta be. If you're looking at hegemony or whatever, stability, you got to destabilize these nations so that you could put whoever in play in power, and then there's going to be some traveling back and forth or whatever. The greater it's going to be like the EU, but it's going to be the AU or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, because I look at DC and all these areas. This is the military might, and as you mentioned before, Britain, like when they set this, they make their moves with the rates or whatever basis points they move. Usually, we might shadow the same move.
Yeah,
but the guns and the bombs is coming from the homeland.
Yeah,
and the homeland cannot have it can't have a strong China having a foothold in Jamaica for 25 years.
Why not?
I mean, because wouldn't that would be a threat?
No, it wouldn't.
Why not?
It's not going to be no war. See, there's a difference. You can play war games without war, right? So, United States went to war with Russia. True or false?
Yeah, proxy.
Oh, okay. So you call it proxy. I call it war games, right? And that's what they do. They practice. They're playing chess, but they don't do it on each other's territory. That's the mutual respect that these nations, these empires have. China says, okay, if we are going to play, we're going to play in neutral territory.
Mm.
If we're going to play, we're going to do that as, two naval boats, out in the sea, right? Pacific Ocean, and they're maneuvering. keeping everybody on their toes, keeping everybody respectful. And I have a lot of that. The issue is humanity has gotten to the point where the technology of the weaponry is so great, will destroy life on Earth. Okay? That ends the fun for the powers that be, because what are they into? They're into fucking human trafficking, right? And all this other weird shit. The last thing you want to do is, ruin your stock of human traffickers, right? So of human trafficking stock and all this other weird nutball shit. So they want to keep the game going. So there's never going to be war, even if China's in our backyard. Like this, we're not going to go to war. It becomes Nash's equilibrium at this point. It's all game theory and it's all maneuvering, and the game is intellectual now. This isn't.
Would you call that? What you just explained, would you say that's in play in Ukraine now, even though it's right up against the Russian border? That's exactly
what that is. We went to the United States, went to war with Russia. We don't call it that, but that's what happened. They had an article published that CIA was over there, right? But really, this is the London international bankers from old back in the day, the Rothschilds, all of these niggas, you know what I'm saying? All of these cats that really got, influence, just calling the shots,
Yeah. Interesting shit, man.
Yeah. But let me try to take a couple more calls before I get out of here.
Have a good one.
Ah, yo. What? Millie over here being shy and shit. What the hell Millie doing? Hold on, let me pull up the super chats. Did Alex win? All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Oh, I read all the super chats. All right, good. All right, I just want to make sure I ain't miss nobody. Wanted to make sure I ain't miss nobody. All right, Millie's acting weird. Let's get Nero in here, and then I'm gonna get out of here. I got coach today and shit. Is that what's pulling all the? Interesante. I'm gonna have to fix that. Excuse me. Let me check the trends. Trump is broke is trending. Trump is broke. That's some bullshit. Who the hell this is? Go ahead. Call in. But yeah, like United States, I mean, like these cats is playing chess, man. It's just chess being played out here, and they're moving pieces on the chessboard, but the chessboard ain't in America, and the chessboard ain't but at the end of the day, there's still dollar dominance. That's the one thing, the Western powers got. They got dollar and euro dominance. The euro's about to go digital. The dollar's probably, the dollar is digital. I take that back. Millie.
Hey, can you hear me?
What up?
Hey, okay. Sorry about all that. I'm at work, so trying to find a free minute to, make a call. But anyway,
yeah.
Just wanted to give my thoughts about Friday with the whole MoFax situation.
Okay.
So I have a slightly different take. I actually don't think it was a shit show the way you seem to feel. You know, obviously things did get kind of riled up towards the second half, but, you know, considering what little I am familiar with MoFact, I kind of feel like maybe he felt the odds were against him, and despite, you know, some of the gaslighting and, you know, some of the subtle jabs he made, I think that he did fairly well maintaining his composure and not completely losing it, as I would have expected. I do think that it would be worth giving him another shot.
No compute, Melly. That does not compute, Melly. He did not hold himself well.
Meaning he didn't like raise his voice and, you know, get irate.
Just because, see, that's the issue with people, Millie. Now I'm about to cuss you out, Millie. See, people equate like, you know, loud and boisterous with behavior, right? And it's like, so that means somebody can do like some of the most underhanded shit, slick and calm, and people be like, well, at least he wasn't loud. Like, he literally gaslit Sonny Johnson.
Yes, that's not okay. That's not
like
okay
blatantly, like attacked. He the first thing I remember he said was, "You're indoctrinated," and I was like, "How did we get here?
So,
how did this become personal?" You know what I'm saying? Instead of us talking about these concepts like we were doing, how did it go from that to you're indoctrinated? And I was just like, whoa, that was wild. And then after that, it was a lot of mischaracterization and gaslighting. Mm-hmm. That to me is way worse than somebody yelling and screaming, because that's a morality issue. That's like the personal attacks is like, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, so I agree.
He gaslit me too. He gaslit me too. He said I set the shit up, went and got my big homie and set him up. I'm like,
so that's a projection. So that's an insecurity, and that's what I was reading off of him during the whole discussion. I feel like he felt insecure because when you make statements like that, you know, he at least in his mind he did feel ganged up on. So that's not acceptable, and that is a manipulation tactic. You know, pretending to be the one who's calm, but then, you know, making sly remarks.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. So that's why I'm saying, let's not give credit. Let's not call decorum being underhanded quietly. Let's not call that decorum. Let's not call that he handled himself well. That's not handling yourself well.
No.
You felt the pressure. And before you went to concept and ideas, you went for, I want to attack a woman's character. And you know how I feel about women on this channel. Like, I don't debate women, and I don't argue with women, and I'm not calling them out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He went straight for the jugular, and it was just like, damn, bro, you got no respect for the women? Like, damn, that's kind of wild.
So, yeah, I'm just making it clear. I don't condone the gaslighting or anything like that. I'm kind of separating it into different categories. But
you can't do it. You cannot separate those into two different categories. Handled himself well. I think that's what you said, right? He handled himself well.
In that department.
That don't count. It's all one thing. You cannot separate and compartmentalize handled yourself well. You can say Sonny was loud and this nigga was underhanded, and that would be factual. And in that case, you can say neither of them handled themselves well. You can say that.
I agree on that front. And, you know, I'll play devil's advocate here. I am a contrarian, and many times people don't like my takes, but it is what it is. So she did raise her voice a lot, and she did cut him off a lot. And I totally felt her passion. I felt her energy on that issue.
Yeah.
But, you know, she still did cut him off a lot, even if what he's saying was BS, in my opinion. Let him say his BS.
Are we supposed to let him? Are we supposed to let him say his bullshit?
Let him say his BS uninterrupted, because there were many segments where he was supposed to get 2 minutes uninterrupted, and he didn't get those 2 minutes uninterrupted. I wanted him to have an opportunity to actually say his BS, so then she could go and completely dissect it.
I knew he wasn't gonna get them 2 minutes after what he said, because he was like, the game he was playing was, I get 2 minutes. I don't really got much to say, so let me say some shit. I know she gonna cut me off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's the shit he did. You know, you're one of those MAGA people that just go China, 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 China. And she's like, no, what are you talking about? Like, remember he did that? He was like, you're one of those MAGA people that just go China, China, China. Like, are you supposed to allow him to continue that sound bite? You know, this is content. We're live. This is being recorded. Do you allow people to carry that sound bite about you? You kind of got to protect. You got to protect your brand in that instance and be like, yo, you going to stop right there. You're not talking about me like that. Like, you don't get 2 minutes after you call somebody out of their name. You lost your 2 minutes. So we got to start you back over, and hopefully you can speak without gaslighting people and calling people out their name. But you cannot say somebody deserves 2 minutes uninterrupted and they get to just shit on me. Fuck no. Not on my watch.
Okay. So yeah, I hear you on that. And in an actual debate, he would get points deducted. But I really wanted to hear him say what he had to say, because I knew that it could be dissected.
And after we gave him the 2 minutes, what did you think of it?
I don't recall him actually getting like a full 2 minutes.
He got a full 2 minutes a couple of times.
Okay, I do remember, I didn't count, but I do remember.
One of those times Sonny left. He had a lot of time. Sonny left, and when she came back, she was quiet for like 10 minutes. You don't remember that? So he had plenty of time.
So another thing,
and you can't remember anything memorable from him. What does that tell you, Melly?
So it seems like he kind of wanted an opportunity to just kind of like have his soapbox and, you know, sort of preach his own personal conspiracies. And perhaps this was not necessarily the appropriate platform for him to do it, because
why not?
You know, like when he started going on talking about something about bunkers and when
no, the issue with that was the context. We were talking about Democrats and Republican and race, and this nigga's talking about bunkers and end world. And it's just like, yeah, we can go tinfoil, but what the fuck does this, how'd you get there? Like, how'd you make that leap from 1950 to the end of the world and then just stop talking? Okay, now what?
That's what I meant. It seemed like he just kind of wanted an opportunity to
just say some shit.
Yeah, exactly. And to also, I don't fully agree with him, but just to play devil's advocate, when he kept going on about the white supremacy stuff, the way he was characterizing it, I feel like that term could be substituted for something else. And he did mention it somewhere in the beginning of the conversation. Like, I think he said, like, some people call it New World Order, some people call it this, that, whatever. But the way he was talking about it, I feel like it's not white supremacy. It's something else, and he's kind of mischaracterizing it. You were just talking about it with another caller. You're talking about, like, Britain is the financial capital of the Western world. I have a colleague who will frequently touch on stuff like this. He'll talk about the British conspiracy and how the United States is part of the greater British Empire and whatnot. And just the way that Moffat kept talking about white supremacy, it kind of sounded similar to the conspiracies I've heard about the British Empire and how it still exists and it still runs the world and blah, blah, blah. So I feel like he was on to something, but not completely clear on it, and perhaps misunderstanding it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. That's some good feedback, though, Millie. You got me charged up.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. So like I was telling you, I know he moved the way he wanted to, but I don't think it was a complete disaster.
Where you at? You in the stairwell?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Am I echoing too much?
Nah, I know that sound.
Yeah. But anyway, if it ever happens again, hopefully there's some lessons that he learned from it. But I've seen shit go way worse. So that's all. Hotep and Bill.
All right, Hotep and Bill. Millie said give him another chance. Millie said give him another chance. What time is it? Who is this? Yes, okay. It's I thought about that, Kay, when I saw it get deleted again. I was like, it's gotta be the bot. It's gotta be a bot that deletes advertising.
Call from
Nero, what up, yo?
What's cracking, cuz?
What's up? What's cracking, cuz?
So, shit, shout out to the Grifties, man. I couldn't make it, man.
Oh, that shit was crazy.
Man, I also fucking pissed. I got hit with a matrix attack real heavy. They didn't want me there.
Word?
Oh, God, man. From family to goddamn work. Jesus Christ. Terrible. Bitches, all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? I got my new flow. That new packing looks crazy. I fucked with it.
Oh, you got the new flow?
Oh, hell yeah. I'm keeping that old Master Focus bottle. That's an artifact right there.
You right about that.
Yeah, big facts. Early on that bitch.
But you like the new bottles?
On God. They fucking nice. You know what I'm saying? Man. They feel a little flimsy, but they fit. They work. They work, especially when you put them in. Shout out to today's stream. I just wanted to call and say what's up. Shout out to the Grifties. Go get your tickets. But I'm definitely coming to Hotep Con. I can play them out. And I still got bread.
All right, we're going to see what's good. We're going to see what's good with Hotep Con. I think we're doing Hotep Con Miami. I'm not sure yet, though. We'll see.
Ooh, perfect time for GTA, too. Shit.
Yeah.
Energy grip off that shit a little bit.
Every single time.
Good marketing. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
But shit, yeah. Hotep and Bill. Shout out to motherfucking MoFax. He was, you know what I'm saying? Sadly, another one of our operatives down. I'm gonna need you to chillax, Hotep. God damn it.
My bad.
You're fucking killing us. You're killing. I'm about to get fired fucking with you. I don't want to go to the fucking Diddy chamber. You about to give me sent straight to the fucking Brother Love's crib. I don't want that. All right. So the next one we send at you, just take it easy on them. You ain't gotta out them yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm just 9 to 5. Basement level 5 clearance worker, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna need you to help me out.
I ain't mean to kill your last operative. I go easy on the next one.
He ain't the last one. Hey, he ain't the last one. But god damn it, he was one of our best. And you cut through him like butter. God damn it. Didn't even have to get your big homie, but you know what I'm saying? But that's good feedback on us. You're triggered by big homie. Okay, we got some nigger in you. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna add that to our psychological evaluation. Okay, we got some of your triggers right there. You know what I'm saying? Sonny Johnson is still gonna have to work on her.
Her patience.
Man, we gonna have to work on her because I don't know where her freaking armor is chinked at. It's nowhere. It's annoying.
No.
Annoying, but you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get back before they really get on my ass. Pause. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate you.
All right, Hotep and Bill, but keep that on the low.
Yes, sir. I ain't mean to, man. I ain't mean to. it's accidental, you know. When you sit, I keep telling people, man, when fake sit next to real, it's kind of hard to go back. It's kind of obvious when you put fake next to real. It's obvious what's the genuine article. That's why niggas don't fuck with me, cause they fake. So they know they stand next to me. Niggas gonna be like, wait a second, we thought you was real. This is real. Who's this nigga? Why y'all been hiding on? You know. Yeah, I know. Oh my God. What is this? Who did this? He said this what happened last week on the Grift Report. That's the Grift Report. Oh wow. Warning, graphic content. Y'all are terrible. What? Hotep. I'm right. If you ever need some real gym motivation, pull up Release Yourself by Grand Central Station. What's that? Do I know that record? Let's pull that up. Excuse me.
At Bet365, we don't do...
Let's see here. Ad long as hell. That 30-second ad.
Sometimes you wanna let yourself go. Don't fight the feeling, might not come no more.
Yeah, that's my jam right there. I could get with that. I could get with that. I can get with that. That shit sound fire. 1974 Warner Records. I could funk with that. I can funk with that. Hold up.
The rook back. Now we're well placed to face this knight g5 because the king can't get away from these checks without moving to the square where the knight wants to go.
Botez Sisters is back. They back playing chess. They back in here getting it in. Right now they're at the Reykjavik Open. I don't know how to say that. I think it's Reykjavik. They somewhere in fucking Europe playing chess. But they're back competing. I'm supporting the Botez Sisters. Those are my girls. Shout out to the chess community. What's this? Wait, was Andrea? No, she wasn't winning. I think she might have been better at some point. Oh, this is a tough position here. You know, I got to be honest with you. Like, if you want to get good at chess, you got to watch these. You got to watch these. These things right here are some of the best things ever. Chess.com is some of the best shit ever. Because you get GM level explanations of moves. Like, where else would you get a GM to explain to you why this move is good? You know, why that move is good. Tactics, strategies, general strategies. You know. Bishop take, right? Bishop take, king takes, take. No, you can't do that. That would be a blunder Rooney. Although, yeah, no, you couldn't do it. I'm get out of here, man. I'm out of here, man. Y'all be safe and shit. You just finished Queen's Gambit? That's my shit. That's my shit. Queen's Gambit is a fire-ass show. Fire show. Fire show. Absolutely loved it. Highly recommend it. If you guys never watched it, go watch it. I wonder if the bot's going to delete that, K. I'm over on Rumble. I'm just seeing if it's going to delete that link. All right, yo. See you next time, man. All right, man. Be well. Stay merry. Tell somebody in your family that you love them. Tonight, Grifties drops. We're dropping the Grifties tonight. Look out for that. Hotep's Been Told You. 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Patreon.com/Hotep's Been Told You. Make sure I go subscribe, and then we're going to drop the Grifties right after that. All right? Be well, stay merry, tell somebody in your family that you love them. And as always, Hotep and Build.
Envision a sanctuary where community and sustainability are the cornerstones of living. In this haven, every family is able to grow their own food, children flourish through homeschooling tailored to unlock their full potential, and education extends beyond textbooks, instilling self-worth and a deep understanding of the world around them. Here, goodwill isn't just an ideal, it's the essence of daily life, where respect for law and order harmonizes with the community's resourcefulness. This place isn't just a dream, it's a call to action for everyone who believes in a better, more connected way of living. Join us in building a future where each individual's contributions create a tapestry of enduring harmony and prosperity. Join us in Hotepistan,